So please be reminded also that midterm examination, that's why. So sino yan? How many were able to get? They were able to discuss Mr. Rocco, Mr. Mr. Satur, Mr. Miss Bonafé, and Miss Paspas. So you are assured of 20 points in your midterm examination. Well, don't you worry, there's still so much cases forthcoming, So you could still recite. Or, if I have given you a case, and you are so much engrossed in reading that case, and you want to recite it and share it to the class, okay, that you are very much welcome to do that. Halimbawa, binasa mo ang kaso, binigay ko sa inyo yung kaso. Binasa mo, gusto mong i-share sa iba. Okay, you do it. And you have a point. You have point. Okay, patuloy na po tayo dahil parang nakikiuso talaga si Atty. Castro ngayon sa trend. Ano ang trend ngayon? Ha? Where are we now? Saan na po tayo? Saan na po tayo? Term. The members of the House of Representatives shall be elected for a term of 3 years, which shall begin unless otherwise provided by law at noon on the 30th day of June next following their election. Take note. No members of the House of Representatives shall serve for 2 successive terms. Voluntary renunciation shall be considered an interruption. This applies both to party list representative and district representative. Kaya say for example, you are a party list representative. You are a party list representative and you have already served 3 terms. Can you run in the next election as a district representative? Yes or no? No more. Okay? Take note, no more, because the disqualifications are the same. Kahit po dito, like for example, meron tayong redistricting, di ba? Halimbawa, binago yung composition, di ba? Yung mga municipalities. Pang second term na ngayon, say for example, ni si Dato Arroyo, pang third term na, say for example, si Dato Arroyo ngayon. Can he still run in the next election? Yes or no? No more, because that is already a disqualification. That is despite the fact that the constituents, there was a change in the constituency. Take note, because the disqualification is as regard a district representative. It doesn't matter as to what particular district you are representing. Merong kaso kasi niyan, like merong kaso niyan na municipality pa siya. Okay? Ano yan? Oh. Now, and after revision, after additional he won. Nanalo siya. Yes. Ang pinag-uusapan po kasi natin dito is members of the House of Representatives. So we are not talking here about the provision of the local government code. Okay? So, as regards members of the House of Representatives, no matter whatever is your constituency, since you previously belong to the House of Representatives, that is considered a disqualification. That's considered a disqualification. Ngayon ba, kay Bukal, kaparehas ba ng constituency niya? Ngayon din? Iba na? Or kay Fernandez, parehas din ba yung mga munisipyong hawak niya? Iba na? Wala namang change sa constituency. Although it's same talaga ang constituency. Wala namang nag-question yan. Wala nag-question. Walang disqualification sa kanya. There was a disqualification. The same constituency. Kung the same constituency, that's a problem. Dana. Oh. So you are telling us that Dato Arroyo also will be having his press term in the 2nd district? Yung kaso ni Mono. Pero same constituency, yung mga munisipyo bang inilipat sa 2nd district, yun din yung dating munisipyo kung saan ang sakupan ng kanyang distrito as board member. Diba? Except Milao. Was there any disqualification filed against Mono? Walang disqualification case of his partner. I'll be giving you the case. May kaso po, kaya lang, ano yun, sa House of Representatives. Yung munisipyo siya before, tapos na-convert siya into a city. So, tumakbo siya. Nag-third term na siya doon. Tumakbo siya dito sa newly created city, newly created legislative district. Sabi niya, iba naman daw yon sa munisipyo, iba naman daw yung sa city. Sabi ng Supreme Court, same constituency. So, still, you are considered prohibited.
Sir, with regards to that, sir, after completing terms, can he still be appointed as party list representative?
Sabi ko pa nga, disqualification is different. Disqualification is the same. Like party list, you have already your third term, but later on under the party list system, you are disqualified because there is no difference between party list representative and district representative. I'll be giving you cases last time. Next time, baka. Salaries. Alamin po kaya natin ang salaries ng members. Ito. In case of vacancy in the Senate or in the House of Representatives, what is the recourse? A special election may be called to fill such vacancy in the manner prescribed by law, but the senator or member of the House of Representatives thus elected shall only serve for the unexpired term. Take note. Salaries. Salaries of senators and members of the House of shall be determined by law. No increase in said compensation shall take effect until after the expiration of the full term of all the members of the Senate and the House of Representatives approving this thing. So can Congress, what's the Congress today? 16 Congress. Can the 16 Congress enact a law increasing their salary? Yes or no? There is no question that can be done. But when will it take effect? So today is 16 Congress, ano? So mag-take effect po siya sa 17 Congress. Okay? Supposing I say it will take effect on the 18th Congress. What's your explanation on the matter? It will take effect not on the 17th. It will take effect on the 18th. Why is that? Yes. So,
Um, so the system center is not um, 17. That's my
so we use the word full term until all the members of Congress have already finished the full term. Oh. That is, in fact, the justification why I mentioned 18th Congress. Why is that so?
Because the full term of senators is 6 years, and the congressman has a term of only 3 years. So 3 years, and then after 3 years, there will be 12 remaining senators who are in the position. Yeah.
Are you getting the point? Yes. Dito kasi sa 16th Congress, meron ditong senior senators, merong junior senators. Diba? Yeah. Pag 7th Congress, yung junior senators dito, still nasa Kongreso pa. Ano? Because hindi pa tapos yung termino na, pero they are already considered senior senators. So yung junior senators dito, magpo-full lang ang kanyang term sa 17th. Kaya yung effectivity on the 18th Congress. You get the point? Because the Constitution is so categorically saying that shall take effect until after the what? Until after the expiration of the full term of all the members of the Senate and the House of Representatives approving. All members, let's continue. All members of the Senate and the House of Representatives shall, upon assumption to office, make a full disclosure of financial and business interests. You know this already. That's why they are even required also to divulge their title N. No? That is the doctrine of transparency. So you have to check that. Let's proceed. Section 13. No senator or member of the House of Representatives may hold any other offices or employment in the government, or any subdivision, agency, or instrumentality thereof, including government-owned or controlled corporation, without forfeiting his office. This is your what? We call this incompatible offices. We call this incompatible office. After this. So we call this incompatible offices. Like for example, from executive, you are holding position also to the legislative or to the judiciary. These are not allowed. Like for example, you are a senator. You are a senator and you are also the secretary, you are a member of the House of Representatives, and you are also the secretary of the Department of Budget and Management. That happened in the case of what? That happened in the case of Congressman Nonoy Andaya. These two offices are considered incompatible offices. So what did he do when he assumed as the Secretary of DBM? He forfeited his seat as being the representative of the first district of Camarines Sur because he could not hold these two positions at the same time. These are considered what? Incompatible offices. Or like for example, in the case of the late Senator Blas Ople, di ba? Senator Blas Ople was also appointed as the Secretary of what? Secretary of Labor ba or Foreign Affairs when he was still a senator. Before he becomes senator, he was Secretary of Labor, Minister, ano? Pero when he was already a senator, he was appointed as the Secretary of Department of Foreign Affairs. So is it a forfeiture of his office as a senator? Yes or no? The answer is yes, because these two offices are incompatible. So what do you observe? You are not actually prohibited from holding any of these positions for as long as you are willing to forfeit, you are willing to forfeit your present position. So that is incompatible. Unless, in fact, if I am not mistaken, under the Constitution even, especially if you are an elected official, you are not allowed to hold double positions, di ba? Two positions, di ba? In fact, if I am not mistaken, that was the case of Richard Gordon when he was the mayor of Olongapo, and he was also appointed as the chairman of SBMA, or Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority. So that runs counter to the provision of the Constitution that an elected official cannot hold two or more positions in the government unless the Constitution specifically allows it. Like, for example, the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice is the chairman of the Judicial and Bar Council. Wala pong problema yan. Or like, for example, the Senate President. The Senate President is also the what? The Senate President is also the chairman of the Commission on Appointment. So wala pong problema yan. Diba? Or like, for example, a justice who is a member of the Senate Electoral Tribunal or the House of Representatives Electoral Tribunal. Wala pong problema yan because the Constitution expressly allows the same. Okay? So, you can still hold the position for as long as you are willing to forfeit your present position. We call that as what? Incompatible offices. How about mga ex officio? In an ex officio capacity, would that be a violation? Yes or no? No. Because you are holding the position by reason of your present position. Diba? If you are holding a particular position in an ex officio, like for example, the Secretary of Justice is an ex officio chairman of the Judicial and Bar Council. Were it not of her being the Secretary of Justice, he would not have been, di ba, holding a position before the JBC. So, that by reason of his position, he was also holding that position. So, hindi po yan prohibited, yung ex officio position. How about itong forbidden office? What is this forbidden office? Forbidden office, any office. Like for example, I am a congressman, say for example, of Manila. And I have passed a bill splitting the city of Manila into two legislative districts. Say for example, it became a law. Indeed, the city of Manila was split into two legislative districts. Came the next election, I ran in one of these districts. Am I allowed? Am I allowed? You know, the splitting is by virtue of the law which I enacted, di ba? And later on, I ran to that position or to being a congressman in one of these districts which I split. Am I allowed? Would that be considered a forbidden office? Yes or no? Who says yes? Raise your hand. Who says no? Raise your hand. You read the law. The law says, neither shall he be appointed. Wala naman po dyan nakalagay, elected. So this is only limited to appointed positions. Take note, nakalagay dyan, neither shall he be appointed to any office which may have been created or the emoluments thereof increased during the term for which he was elected. So, klaro po yan, The prohibition is only limited to appointment and not election. Bakit hindi po ang election? Anyway, it will still be the people, di ba, that will choose him. It will be the people that will select him, So, bakit po sinasabing forbidden office yan? Because of your action, its emolument was increased or it was created. Now, ang question now is, until when the prohibition is applicable? Until when the prohibition is applicable? May dalawang school of thoughts. Una, only during the term. So you cannot hold that position while you are still, say, for example, a senator, or while you are still a congressman. Ang second school of thought is, it should be perpetual. Why perpetual? Because it can be susceptible to abuses. What do you mean by susceptible to abuses? Because here is a congressman. I know he is already on his third term. Diba? Alam niya. And alam niya, there is wala na pong pag-asa na makabalik pa siya sa Kongreso. Anong gagawin niya ngayon? Magpapasa ng Magpapasa ng bill, mag-create ng office. Pag na-create ng office, magpapa-appoint siya doon sa office as head or at least a functionary. So, does it serve the purpose? No. Diba? So, kahit ako ang posisyon ko po dyan, as regards forbidden office, as much as possible, it should be perpetual. If we really want to what? If we really want to serve the purpose. The purpose is to avoid abuses, avoid corruption, di ba? Pwede itong mag-create, di ba? Last term ko na ngayon. So magpapasa ko ng bill. Anyway, creation of public office is within Congress, di ba? Magpapasa ko, mag-create ako ng office. Later on, pag hindi na ako senator, pag hindi na ako congressman, magpapa-appoint ako sa office na yan. Okay? So ginamit ba ang kanyang posisyon for his own advancement? Of course, di ba? So as much as possible, it should be what? It should be perpetual. So take note. One of the cases here is the case of Richard Gordon. When Richard Gordon was still a senator, he was also the chairman of the Philippine National Red Cross. Di ba? That is a very recent case. We have the case of Liban versus Gordon, or Gordon versus Liban. Because that was the very thing that was questioned. He was holding what? He was holding two positions in the government, which is not allowed by the Constitution. First, he was a senator, and second, he was a chairman of the Philippine National Red Cross, which is a corporation and has a charter. Diba? So pag sinabing charter, it's a corporation that is created by law. So it could either be a government-owned or controlled corporation, government-owned corporation or government-owned and controlled corporation. Okay? Dahil create siya ng charter, create siya ng Kongreso. Unlike sa private corporations, kini-create siya under the corporation law, di ba? Under the corporation code, registered before the Securities and Exchange Commission. And that doesn't happen in the case of PNRC or Philippine National Red Cross. So it was questioned. So ang tanong ngayon, did Richard Gordon hold incompatible offices during his incumbency as the Senator of the Republic of the Philippines according to the case of Liban versus Gordon? Anong sabi po ng Supreme Court? PNRC, take note, it's a corporation, it's a chartered corporation, it's created by a charter, but it's not a government corporation. It's not a government corporation. Its funds, take note, are from what? Private sources. Take note. So, hindi daw po siya private corp. Pero, sabi ng Supreme Court, there is a violation as regards the creation of the Philippine National Red Cross. Since it's not a government corporation, it should have been created under the corporation code. Kaya anong pinapagawa ng Supreme Court sa PNRC? Pag you make it proper, you have to reestablish the Philippine National Red Cross and have it registered before comply with the rules under the corporation. So hindi daw siya. Bakit? Hindi daw po siya government corporation. It's a private corporation. Yon, I want you to read that case. That's a very interesting case. Also, the case of Gordon versus Liban or Liban versus Gordon. For purposes of your examination and for purposes of your bar examination, please read that case. That is a very important case. The other one, unless you have some clarification. It is also provided, Section 11, a senator or a member of the House of Representatives shall in all offenses punishable by not more than 6 years be privileged from arrest while Congress is in session. Ano po ang tawag natin dito? We call this parliamentary immunity. Privilege from arrest and privilege of speech. Kaya pag sinabing privilege speech, ano, to the extent of becoming personal already, di ba? Kung maaayos natin in the halls of Congress, when a senator or when a member of the House of Representatives does a privileged speech, sometimes it's becoming personal already, di ba? They are not afraid. Why? Because they cannot be criminally held liable for libel, di ba? Because they are privileged under the Constitution to do that. But I tell you, class, while they cannot be what? While they cannot be arrested, the House concerned, especially where this particular member belongs, may sanction him, may also discipline him. Pero hindi mo siya pwedeng i-arresto. Ang problema kasi, class, pag sinabing arrest, that is just a consequence of a case being filed against the person. Yeah. The question now is, since it's just a consequence, can a case be filed against him only that he may not be arrested? Can a case be filed against him only that he may not be arrested? Because what is only provided by the Constitution is privilege from arrest. But it does not prohibit the private offended party from filing a case against him. And this limitation I would like to tell you, because you might say, why Trillanes there? He was a senator. But why is it that he was not allowed to participate in the deliberation before the House of Congress? We have Congressman Halos. Okay? He appealed. So his decision did not become final and executory. But why was he not allowed to participate in the deliberation in Congress? Because the Constitution is sovereign saying that this immunity only applies if the maximum imposable penalty does not exceed 6 years. How about libel? What is the maximum imposable penalty of libel? The maximum imposable penalty of libel does not exceed 6 years. Yeah. But you have to file it before the regional trial court. You know, if you file mo lang ang kaso sa RTC, kung ang penalty usually exceeds 6 years. But why is it that you have to file libel before the regional trial court? Because the revised penal code expressly says that case of libel should be filed before the court of first instance or now regional trial court. So since the law itself that provides for the court where a particular case should be filed, then that should be followed. Si Trillanes, anong kaso ni Trillanes? Kudita? Kudita o rebellion? Rebellion, rebellion has a penalty of more than 6 years. It even has a penalty of reclusion perpetua. How about the case of Alos? Rape. Diba? Rape. And it even has a penalty of what? Of reclusion perpetua. So certainly, they are not covered by this what? By this prohibition. In this particular case, I want you to read the case of Halos, People versus Halos. February 3, 2000. And the case of Trillanes versus Honorable Pimentel et al. The case of People versus Halos, February 2000. And the case of Trillanes versus Honorable Pimentel et al. GR number 179817, June 27, 2008. June 27, 2008. So did you get it? Trillanes versus Honorable Oscar Pimentel et al. GR 179817, June 27, 2008. Anong sinasabi dito ni Congressman Halos? You know, class, at the regional trial court level, Congressman Halos was already convicted. Diba? Na-convict siya sa RTC. But came the next election, He still ran and was elected. Would that be okay? Yes. Because since there is a pending appeal, the decision does not become final and executory. So the presumption of innocence remains. So he is still not denied of his civil and political rights. So he filed a petition before the court, requesting that he be allowed to participate in the deliberations before Congress. Because he is saying that that by the prohibition, his constituents are being denied of representation in Congress. Anong sabi ng Supreme Court? Is being a public official a classification or a distinction that will make you different from other detained individuals? Is holding a public position a distinction that will make you different from other prisoners? Dapat nga iba ako, I should be substantially distinguished. We are not on the same class, di ba? Iyan ang posisyon ni Congressman Alosos. Because I am representing the people and they are entitled to be represented in Congress. Anong sabi ng ating Korte Suprema? Holding a public office is never a valid classification. It will never distinguish you from other persons today. You are saying that the people will be deprived of their representation, sabi ng Supreme Court. You must know, Mr. Alosos, that when these people voted for you, they are already know that you are in jail. So they are aware of your limited what? They are aware of your limitations. And thirdly, anyway ngaya, you are also still given office in the new Bilibid prison where you can still hold some of your functions there. The only prohibition is what? You are not allowed to participate in the deliberation before Congress. Ito naman, si Senator Trillanes. Because ang binasihan ng denial is yung ruling sa haluskos, sabi ni Senator Trillanes, iba ako kay Congressman Haluskos. Bakit? Sabi ni Senator Trillanes, my offense is a political offense. Diba? Whereas ang sa kanya, it's a criminal offense, it's a grave offense. So, may pagkakaiba kami. Sa kay Senator Haluskos, kay Congressman Haluskos ngayon, when he requested that he be allowed to participate, he was already convicted. Convicted na niya, although his case still pending appeal, di ba? Samantalang ako ngayon, hindi pa. I am a mere detention prisoner. So my circumstance should not be compared with the circumstance of Congressman Haluskos. So what is the ruling of the Supreme Court on the matter? That you will know when you read the case of Trillanes versus Orlo. Basahin nyo din, ano? Basahin nyo din. Sayang nga, sana tayo ko na binasa. Basahin nyo din. Again, hindi po kumpleto ang aking kwento. No? If you want to make it detailed, you have to read the full text. Read the case, ha? Aquino versus Comelec, Banat, and this one. Let's read this one. Where is the attendance sheet? Do we have attendance sheet? Ang exam next week na. Kaya nga, ang exam next week. Meron pa tayong next week.